So, Marian,
Thank you for another excellent talk. I have no question, but thank you.
thank you. Marian, hope to see you with us to next week here. Okay. Yeah. So, what does it mean? I know. Anyway, Merita, please unmute yourself.
There, I think I did.
Yeah, thank you.
Greetings, Maharaj. Pranams. Thank you for an excellent talk, as usual.
Thank you.
I had a short question. Maybe it doesn't have a short answer, but I was just thinking, how can we minimize the deep impressions we've already formed of bad habits, such as gossiping? When we can decide not to do it, but then we kind of just get into it and we hate ourselves for it, and we try to, and we're in the middle of it. We say, why are we doing this? I guess that's part of what you explained. These impressions have been so deeply rooted.
Yeah.
Is there any way to
There is, of
minimize?
course, a way, but there is no shortcut.
No.
There is, of course, a way. The way is first discrimination.
Yeah. Yeah.
So don't do those things again. If we keep on doing those things, then those impressions will never go. It will just become stronger and stronger and stronger. So don't do, but don't do is easier said than done. We all know.
Yes.
Yeah, that is why to prevent those impressions from overpowering us, create opposite impressions. Like now we know, I think in India, this advertising tobacco has been banned, no? They cannot, you cannot advertise tobacco. Most probably it has been banned or something like that. There is some restriction.
Yeah.
So what is the meaning of this? The meaning of this is that they prevent these people from reigniting our stimulus, that desire by stimulus.
Yeah.
So when we don't see those things again and again, those impressions are not awakened easily. So what is the logic behind this? The logic behind is that keep away from those things, not only mentally, but also physically. Don't even let your eyes see them. Don't hear about them. Don't talk about them. Because the least stimulus, if the impressions are very deep, the least stimulus can awaken them. This is one way. Keep away scrupulously. And second thing is, constantly be in such circumstances which are opposite to that things. That is why it is mentioned again and again in the scriptures that be in good company. What is called holy company or whatever you say. Why? Because since we have seen that impressions can never be wiped out, it can only be kept under control when it becomes weak. And how to do this, the way to do this is don't give those impressions food. If you don't give food to a man or animal, what will happen? It will get weak. So giving food to those impressions is what? It is enjoying the same thing again, talking about it, seeing that thing. It is reigniting. It is as if giving it food.
Yeah.
But when we stop all that consciously, when we pile up enough of opposite impressions, then they will become so weak that it will be easier to control.
Right.
Then even if the desire comes up once in a while, it would have become so weak that we can just tell the mind, oh, just shut up.
Yeah.
I won't listen to you. Yeah. So these two things have to be practiced with great care.
So if a person that you've had a bad relationship with gives you, makes you feel brings about that aversion, then you're saying it's better to physically avoid that person or avoid that situation.
If possible, if not possible, then you cannot do anything. You have to be in the presence, but you can just keep away and look
Yeah.
the other way.
And,
Yeah.
and keep building up the opposite
Yeah, absolutely.
impression or the opposite feeling.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you very much.
So when you come to Vancouver, we'll help you create those other impressions.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Maharaj,
Thank you so much.
for that thought.
Start from Harsh.
So, what was your answer? Like, is it the experience of the duck's forefather or the duck itself? Like
The duck itself.
the duck itself. Right?
Yeah.
So, doesn't that imply, if the duck knows how to swim, that the duck is always reincarnating as a duck?
It has reincarnated as a duck before. This much all we can say.
Right.
But we don't know whether it was only duck.
Right.
Yeah, in future it can be someone else.
Right. And then whatever it reincarnates as, it gets that memories, I guess, to the more surface, right? But if you look at, let's say, the entire population of a duck, let's say, right, we will find out that all ducks know how to swim, not just half of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what about the ducks who are reincarnating as a duck for the first time? They won't know how to swim.
I'm at a loss for the answer. I don't know. If I meet one, I can tell.
Oh, but
That's a valid question.
I'm trying to say,
That's a valid question. But see, these things cannot be answered. Now, how can we know? If it is born for the first time, maybe it'll have to learn. So maybe if we go and find maybe in 1 in million, we may find that it does not take to water spontaneously.
so then it actually implies the number of times we've reincarnated is so huge that we've actually gone through every orbit.
Yes, that's what the scriptures say. We start from the bottom and come to the human being stage.
Right. And when you said, so similarly, we are afraid of death because we have died. But shouldn't we actually be never afraid of death? Because
That was one question. This is the same question I had asked when I was taught
okay,
Raj Yoga.
because
Yeah, because this is one thing that what you say, we shouldn't be afraid, but we are afraid because of the pain we've experienced before. And since we have also been born many times, we have that feeling of eternity within us. We always think that there cannot be a time when we will not exist. So your question has two parts. Dying many times and also living many times. So dying many times, since we have experienced the pain before, we are afraid of death. But since we have been reborn again, we always feel that even after that, we will be there in some form. No one can imagine that his existence will be wiped out. So this answers your question from both the standpoints.
right.
It is exactly the same question I had asked when I was in training center.
I have two incidents. Avidya, Asmita, and then Raga Dvesha. Are these at different levels? Or
You can say one thing leads to another. From the root, the trunk, the root is ignorance, the trunk is Asmita. From Asmita, all these branches.
So do we have to start at the stop that Raga Dvesha, or can we?
We cannot, we should destroy the root if possible. But problem is, if it is not possible to go there suddenly. That we come to face with that only when we go very deep into meditation. But before that, we have to know that this is the thing which is causing all the problem. At the back of my keep that. But these gross things have to be got rid of first. We cannot, even if we want, we cannot get rid of egoism at one stroke, because the root has spread so far and it is so deep that it is not possible.